How you doing, fellow Cannabisians? This is Brutal Monkey News. This just in. Snoop Dogg has opened his first dispensary in LA. SWED stands for smoke weed every day.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I gotta say, I definitely love the sign. The Cali plate, SWED, tribute to Nate Dogg, most definitely. Not a bad name.
Written by Anna Ramanan, iconic rap star Snoop Dogg can officially add store owner to his long resume. The artist just joined the grand opening of SWED, his very first licensed cannabis store, just a few miles away from LAX. In addition to the debut of SWED, an acronym for Smoke Weed Every Day, Snoop launched a limited edition cannabis collaboration that honors his late friend and collaborator Tupac.
Get to check out that nice Snoop Dogg artwork. Oh, 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 oh.
Back in 2002, Snoop Dogg took over Death Row Records and a year later launched Death Row Cannabis. He vowed to restore the label to its former glory, championing artists, hip-hop, and cannabis culture, reads a press release. Tupac and Snoop Dogg connection is rooted in a shared history that goes beyond the label, with Tupac famously handling Snoop his first blunt.
I said, God damn!
That first blunt sparked a friendship that ran deep, Snoop said. Always have his music, but this is another way I can bring what was meaningful to Tupac to his fans. Fast forward to today, Snoop has officially delivered on his promises with the launch of his new dispensary and collection, which includes the Alien OG strain. Ironically, Snoop actually isn't the first LA rapper to open a weed store in this space. Until recently, the storefront served as a location for Dr. Green Thumbs, a line of stores from Cypress Hill's Be Real. SWED, located at 5494 West Centinela Avenue. It's open daily from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
On death row. So I think it's cool that he still kind of remembered Tupac. I mean, I guess you could look at it, he's still making money off his name, but they was two of America's most wanted, and ain't nothing but a gangster party. Oh yeah, most definitely. We even gonna go and check out a little tour. Now on to CuraLeaf.
CuraLeaf joins marijuana multi-state operators pivoting into hemp-derived THC. By Chris Roberts. CuraLeaf Holdings was done with hemp. The New York-based marijuana multi-state operator had a hemp operation in Lexington, Kentucky as part of a CBD product line the company had operated since 2018. As of September 30th, 2023, CuraLeaf had ceased all its operations in Kentucky related to the manufacturing and wholesale distribution of hemp-derived products wholesale. Moving to terminate a lease and putting its assets up for sale, the company reported in annual filings earlier this year. Then, it seemed the company had second thoughts. Instead of exiting hemp for years, viewed by many in the industry as an unwelcome competitor to strictly regulated marijuana, CuraLeaf would go all in, joining the growing trend among licensed cannabis companies, embracing hemp. In the first quarter of 2024, with federal marijuana reform efforts not yielding any practical changes, CuraLeaf made a strategic decision to enter the hemp market, the company reported later in public filings. Instead of canceling and divesting, CuraLeaf held on to the lease as well as its equipment in Kentucky. On June 24th, the company launched the entire product line of hemp-derived THC products under a new brand, the Hemp Co.
First off, I should say that I've always been curious about where this sudden explosion of THC products has come from, and I think I've got my answer right here. I'm seeing edibles. I'm seeing vape pens. I'm seeing drinks. And it all seems to be coming from hemp-derived products, not THC-derived products. Big difference.
CuraLeaf branded gummies, drinks, and other shelf-stable intoxicating products, all derived from hemp and thus legal to ship across state lines, are available via e-commerce and mainstream retail channels such as DoorDash in 25 states. Since the products are derived from hemp, the company can serve customers in deep red markets that are traditionally unfriendly to marijuana, such as Texas.
So I understand that we get the high, but do we get the medicinal benefits that come from a regular THC flower plant? A cannabis plant versus a hemp plant. They trying to pull the okie doke on us. I don't mean to try to start no conspiracies or anything.
Why the change? I can't point to one eureka moment that changed CuraLeaf's mind, CEO Matt Doran said in the interview. But Doran spent time with federal lawmakers in Washington, D.C., where the 2018 Farm Bill, partly by accident, legalized a nationwide trade in hemp-derived THC that is legally distinct from marijuana. The basic fact became undeniable. Hemp is legal and marijuana is not in the eyes of federal government, Doran says. As much as we continue to be industry leaders in advocating for cannabis reform, that was a really revealing viewpoint. Hemp trending. CuraLeaf's reversal is part of a growing industry-wide trend, one that represents a significant departure from past practices. Like most other large MSOs, CuraLeaf is a member of the U.S. Cannabis Council, a DC-based lobbying group for licensed marijuana companies. In April, the organization sent a letter to federal lawmakers requesting they close the 2018 Farm Hemp Bill loophole, which is credited. In April, the organization sent a letter to federal lawmakers requesting they close the 2018 Farm Bill hemp loophole, which is credited with unwittingly legalizing a nationwide market in hemp-derived cannabinoids. But that hasn't happened. So instead of lobbying for regulations to squash intoxicating hemp-derived products that aren't subject to the same taxation and regulatory burdens imposed on state-regulated marijuana, large MSOs are jumping into hemp migration. In addition to CuraLeaf, Chicago-based Green Thumb Industries licensed its incredible edibles brand to hemp-derived manufacturer Herb, according to Forbes reporter Will Yakowitz. A spokesman for Green Thumb did not respond for a request for comment. Other brands sold in multi-state, Cookies, Jeter, and 1906, are also jumped into the hemp arena. For hemp advocates such as Jonathan Miller, a former Kentucky State Treasurer and General Counsel of the U.S. Hemp Roundtable, a Washington, D.C. based advocacy group, big marijuana companies ditching their crusades against hemp is vindicated. Our philosophy is, come on in, the water's warm, Miller told reporters. We welcome more and more to this coalition. I not only view it as a healthy thing in the industry, but as helpful politically. Right now, there are a handful of marijuana companies that are trying to destroy the hemp industry. The more marijuana folks that come over to the hemp side, I think the less hostility there will be on both sides of the plant. Whether other big companies follow suit or focus resources instead of opening new adult use markets, as Tallahassee-based CuraLeaf Cannabis Corp is doing by pouring more than $40 million and counting into recreational marijuana legalization ballot initiative in Florida. The message seems clear. As long as there's no marijuana rescheduling or interstate commerce, the trade in hemp-derived THC products is the next best thing. As companies evaluate what is commonly known as the Farm Bill loophole, the question has been, if these loopholes continue to persist, do we have to explore it? Says Michael Braunstein, the president of the American Trade Association for Cannabis and Hemp, attached, a DC lobbying group.
Now, I'm sure from a business standpoint, this is a smart move here. I know it costs millions and millions to own cannabis farms, so I'm sure this is half of it. You can fake it like it's industry. Make me some Adidas shoestrings or something.
The 2024 Farm Bill, Yet the let it ride attitude towards hemp in Capitol Hill might be waning. Yet the let it ride attitude towards hemp on Capitol Hill might be waning. In late May, U.S. Representative Mary Miller, an Indiana Republican, introduced an amendment to the House version of the long overdue farm bill that would ban ingestible hemp products containing THC. While the Republican-controlled House Committee on Agriculture voted to advocate a draft farm bill with Miller's ban included, the full U.S. House of Representatives has not yet taken up the measure, nor has a Democrat-controlled Senate, where serious farm bill discussion has not yet begun. Plus, there is a legitimate doubt that Congress will pass a farm bill in 2024 at all. In the meantime, the status quo allows hemp-derived THC products to be sold across state lines and online, though with certain state-by-state carve-outs and restrictions. That means an opportunity remains for brand expansion that's difficult to resist. We're building a global brand. We want our brands to be our products to be widely distributed as possible, as long as it's done in the right way, CuraLeaf's Darren said. We looked at this opportunity and we said, this is really compelling. We're in the THC industry, and so we've got to take that leap into it.
And that's the way it crumbles. This has been Brutal Monkey from Brutal Monkey News. Thanks for tuning in, fellow Cannabisians. We'll see you at 6.